The US dollar was trading higher against a basket of major currencies on Friday, extending Thursday's gains as renewed tensions between the United States and China dented investor sentiment, sending investors into the safety of the greenback. The US dollar index edged up by 0.5% to close at 99.86 on Friday. However, week-on-week DXY still posted a 0.5% loss. On Wednesday, the US Senate passed legislation that could block some Chinese companies from listing their shares on US exchanges. It would require overseas firms to follow US standards for audits and other financial regulations. The bill applies to all foreign companies but is targeted at China. Trump and his administration insisted that China mishandled the novel coronavirus during the early weeks of an outbreak that has spread into a global pandemic. Beijing accuses Washington of damaging the relationship with Beijing and pushing the two nations towards a new Cold War. Meanwhile, the euro fell by 0.4% on Friday to end at 1.0902 amid the broad-based demand for the American dollar. Still, despite its two-day losing run, the single currency logged a 0.7% rise for the week. GDP figures from Germany showed a 2.2% contraction in the first quarter, which marked the largest decline in output since the financial crisis. As it is a second consecutive quarterly decline, Germany has officially entered a recession. It's been a slow start to the new week, and volatility is likely to remain as a result of the spring break holiday in the UK and the Memorial Day holiday in the United States. The British pound fell by 0.4% against the dollar on Friday to finish at 1.2166. For the week, cable gained 0.5%. Brexit risks have risen again as the UK government continues to rule out an extension to the transition period, and a comprehensive free trade agreement might be difficult to agree before the end of 2020. If no agreement is reached, the GBP may weaken to reflect greater trade and investment friction, economists say. Meanwhile, in the crypto market, Bitcoin fell by 5% on Sunday to close at 8,711.5. For the week, the cryptocurrency number one lost 9.8% to mark its biggest weekly decline since the second week of March. Despite the price drop, the number of addresses holding Bitcoin has continued to rise. According to analysts, the demand may be associated with the bullish narrative that Bitcoin could repeat history by charting a solid price rally over the next 12 months. Meantime, in the energy market, oil prices fell sharply on Friday, hitting the pause button on a rally seen recently. Market optimism faded after the Chinese government said that it would not offer up a GDP growth target for 2020, highlighting the serious challenges facing the world's second-largest economy. Rising tension between the United States and China are also weighing on the oil market. Brent crude fell by 2.6% on Friday to settle at $35.13 a barrel. For the week, the oil benchmark still posted an 8.09% gain. WTI crude futures slid by almost 2% on Friday to settle at $33.25 a barrel. For the week, however, US crude price eked out a 12.9% gain. Meanwhile, gold futures slipped by 0.7% on Friday to settle at $1,735.50. For the week, the precious metal posted a 1.1% fall. You were watching weekly review of commodity and currency markets on InstaForex TV channel with me, Kate Stichina. We wish you profitable deals.